Howdy folks, welcome back to Space Engineers. We're ready to take flight and go do some exploring. Let me turn off some of these GPS markers. I can turn that one on as needed. But I got the ship painted up, a little bit of decorating, added some lights to it. I think we're ready to rock and roll. I do want to go to the beacon. And I want to say, can't you tell it to use the ship name? Nope. Okay. We'll just add flyer on there, just so we know. Also, let's go ahead and change this to flyer for the grid. And let's take off. We've got a full battery. I think we're ready to rock and roll. Let's hop in the cab. So I wanted to head south. Let's go see what is to the south. Oh, the other thing I was going to do, let me go back to thrusters. So if we look for anything that says backward, I want to put those on a group. Flyer, reverse, thrusters. I want to have those on a group so I can turn them off so we can just kind of cruise. So let's go to groups, and we have reverse thrusters. Let's just put that on one. Toggle them on and off. So now if I hit that, now we can just cruise along. Don't have to keep holding the button down. But we are going to have to go over this mountain. So there is that. This side looks a little shorter, so let's go this direction. And what I'm hoping is by going south, we can find a little warmer climate. Maybe some more grasslands. I should probably go check out this distress signal. I wonder if that's... I wonder which side of the mountain that's on. Might be on this side of the mountain. Let's cruise over there and check it out. And then I think it's all, yeah, when you're in the cab here. So I've explored a lot of this, like what's underneath me. So nothing too amazing there. And it looks like this is indeed on the mountain over here. What I should have done is put a camera on here. That could have been kind of handy. So I'll kick the thrusters on. Is this going to start shooting at me is my main question. I am not super maneuverable. Does appear to be some kind of ship. Also, I have no weapons on here, so we're completely helpless. Yeah, that looks like that's the remnants of a ship. Wonder what that's all about. It's probably worth checking out. See if there's something on here we could use, maybe. And maybe I should just dock to the ship because it's probably somewhat level. When I say dock to the ship, I mean land on the ship. Well, it's not exactly level, is it? Kind of close. Can I clamp to this? There we go. Got it. Okay, yeah, this is kind of just a big wreck. Interesting. Ooh, somebody didn't make it. I'm wondering, is it hostile? Is it going to try to shoot me? That looks like a battery. Yeah, we definitely don't have any access to anything. Look at this poor guy. What have you got, sir? Claim the PC of this grid. You must have... We'll check his data pad. I don't know if I really want to claim the grid. I don't really know how that works necessarily. I don't think I have the mod, the easy takeover mod, so I think I'd have to find all the control things, grind them down. We got some basic tools there. Yeah, access denied. Let's go ahead and mark this. Wrecked ship. There we go. And we can come back and explore that at some point if I want to grind it down. But let's continue our journey. Yeah, that poor guy didn't make it. I guess we'll do a quick once over. Anybody else in here? It's a lot of components if I want to come and grind that down. There'd be a lot of components here, that's for sure. Alright, let's hop back in our little ship. And what's this data pad say? I told the pirates where they can find us. Here's where we make our stand. Well, it looks like they didn't quite make it. And we'll keep that. So, rip to you, sir. And I need the landing gear to have. Toggle, yeah, switch lock. There we go. Alright, let's continue on our journey to the south. It is getting kind of late in the day. But I did bring a bunch of food with me, so we're good to go. For some exploring, we'll head to the southward and see what we can find. So I'm going to cruise for a bit, and I'll bring you back in when we get somewhere. Cruising along, we're about 20 kilometers from home, and I spotted what I think is a ice lake over here. We got birdie sounds, which is kind of strange, being this high in the air, but okay. And there's a nice grassy valley here. But I think this is an ice lake, so I wanted to go check that out. If it is an ice lake, I will explore this valley a little bit and see if we can find any wheat, perhaps. Might be a good place for a farm. So it wouldn't hurt to go ahead and kick the ore detector on. That resets your view. Might be an easier way to do that, I'm not sure. Yeah, that looks like a lake up here. So that would be a very good source of ice for the farm. We're slowing down a little bit. Cool, that's the first ice lake I've found. Nice to know they are indeed here on the planet. Let me get some ore over here. Go check that out. If that was iron, that would be perfect. We've got ice. What else we got here? Silver. Okay. Silver and gold. Alright. GPS. AG and AU. Yeah, silver and gold. That's a lot of silver and gold. Should we need it? Have any other ore deposits over here? We got one over here. We got silicon and magnesium. Anything else in here with it? Those two are often found together. Oops, need a slash GPS. For that, alright. Now I'm gonna make a ice lake GPS marker. And then we can go ahead and turn those off. Looks like we got one more over here. Wait, is that the one I just marked? Or is there two deposits of it? No, there's two deposits of silicon and magnesium. Alright. It's kind of open for some iron, game. No such luck, though. Let's see, silicon, yeah, silicon, magnesium. Alright, well, that's a little bit of a bummer, but that's okay. I think those are just the scenic bushes. There's a little smaller one over here, though. What's this guy? Is this a scenic bush? Yeah, just a scenic bush. Let's take a little stroll through the valley here in our ship. See if we can find anything growing. We need a plant detector. Oh, I think that was one right there. The berry bush? The berry bushes look a lot like these scenic bushes. Yeah, that's just a scenic bush. It's where it'd be handy to have a wheeled rover I could deploy, but I didn't want to build a great big ship. Something small and cheap. And I need to keep an eye on my battery so we can actually make it back home. I don't see many plants, though. Oh, that looks like a different color. There we go. That's a berry bush, it looks like. Alright, we are locked down. Tell you what, let's do... We'll just power that down. So, definitely found some berries. Somebody mentioned that you can... that they respawn, so I might go ahead and mark this. We want to test that theory someday. And then that's also where we parked. Because when I turn the batteries off, the beacon goes away. But I'm going to run around a little bit on foot here. Maybe use up some hydrogen as well. And I'm going to see what kind of plants I can find. It is warm and high oxygen here, so this would be a good valley for the farm. We just need some iron. I could always ship it in, but it would be nice if there was some iron nearby. So I'm going to do a little bit of exploring around on foot, see what I can find, and I'll bring it back in. You know, HQ is adamant they want a wheat farm, but all I found is berries. I found 9 berry bushes. We got a storm moving in. I have not found any sign of vegetables or wheat or mushrooms. all I can find is berries. And I've been finding ore deposits, so there is silicon and magnesium around. I saw the colored spot from the ship, so I was gathering up some berry bushes. Just had my drill out so I could detect any ore I was running over, but yeah, no luck with the wheat at all. I left the ship over here somewhere. There it is. Yeah, no luck so far. I like this spot for a farm. We just need to find some iron nearby. So, I'm going to keep on looking. Oops, accidentally hit 7. And unlock. There we go. Keep on looking. It's going to be a little hard to see here in the rain, but keep exploring a little bit and I'll see what I can find. Well, well, well. Look what I found up here at the head of the valley. Got some iron, cobalt, and nickel. That is a beautiful sight. And I see a berry bush over here as well, so I'm going to go ahead and sit down. Okay, turn the thrusters off. So they don't use power when you're locked on, so that's good. So, GPS, we have iron, nickel, and cobalt. So that is great. I saw a berry bush over here. Lots of berry bushes. Still no wheat. I haven't quite given up, but I have to see if HQ can send me a care package. If they want me to grow wheat here, I'm going to have some seeds. There's a lot of trees around here. I thought I might run around and see. Should probably have my pistol out and see if we could find some mushrooms. I'm not sure. I think the mushrooms grow on logs, from what I've seen in pictures, but I've never found any logs. I don't know if those spawn around trees. I don't know how that works for sure. Let me turn off that, but let's say Lake Valley, just to make sure we know where that's at. Are there any logs around? Let's take a little look. And then I think what I'll do is I'll go back to the hab. And I can get materials to build, you know, like a refinery and a assembler. And I'd like to have a survival kit, but I have to have a big refinery to refine silver before we can do that. And we'll set up our farm over here in this valley that I found. I think that will work out nicely. Once we found some iron. Alternatively, I could throw the survival kit on the flyer and just bring that over here. That's another option. And then eventually have a big refinery set up and I could make, you know, all the survival kits I want. I'm not seeing any logs or anything around these trees. I don't know how that works. Maybe somebody knows and they can let me know in the comments. So I'm not finding any signs of wheat. Only berries. Just going to do a little circle around the flyer here. I need a binocular mod. That would be handy. Just realized my gun wasn't loaded. Had 2 rounds. That's another berry bush. I mean, we can make Kerbo's berry farm. Got plenty of berries. I found wheat on when I was doing test worlds, so I know it looks like, you know, it looks like wheat. Surprise, surprise. So I know what it looks like, but I've yet to find it. That glorious sun. Just making a little jaunt around here. I should pull this out once in a while in case I run over something. But I'm sure there's wolves over here. So in between episodes, I'm going to do some prep work. We'll get prepped, and next episode we'll start building the farm. I want to find a flat location. And then the plan is eventually have drones like go in to get ice, keeping the ice topped off so we can keep it watered. I'd like to have some kind of automated harvesting system. You do have to plant by hand. But from what I understand, you can't harvest them with, I think, collectors. Need to do some experimentation. Yeah, not finding much out here. Just berry bushes. I wonder if my flyer could carry the rover. That might be a thing. We could stick the survival kit on the back end of the rover and then carry it with the flyer, maybe? We'll get it over here somehow. I don't want to drive over here because look what we have in between us. That would be not fun. Alright, well, we found a location. We've not found any wheat. The sun's going down. I think I need to head back to the hab and get some prep work done. And we'll be back over here and we will build a farm. Thanks as always for hanging out, folks. I will catch you in the next episode. Is that a good thumbnail? Maybe.